Hello, welcome to Creativity with Don Allen III Live. Today we're going to be working on making some illustrations with AI and AR techniques. It's a mixture of tools. What you see right here is like a painting. It looks like it's in my room, and it turns out that that painting is completely CGI, and that was captured in real time on an iPad. So that footage only works because we painted the piece using a couple of tools, and then we brought it to life with AR tools. So today we're going to be working on doing the same thing, but I want to show you kind of how to start from scratch. Today we're going to be focusing on working with the app Art Breeder, which is free. You can access this for free on any website. It's a web app. And once we're happy with making a cool environment, we'll be doing a paint over inside Procreate. Now, just to show you what that looks like, over here in Procreate, this is where I did my draw over. So I combined from previously, like I made a lot of different landscapes, and then we took the best ones and combined them together, and then did our draw overs on top of this combination. And we actually generated this composition by combining lots and lots of different AI GAN networks and creating different children and different gene types to create all the images. And I want to show you that process. So that's what we're going to do right now is exactly that. We're going to just jump right in, and I'll show you how we go about this process. And welcome to Never Stop Learning. I'm your host, Don Allen III. It's a pleasure to have you here. So it's a two-parter. Part one starts now. We're going to go into the app Art Breeder. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this video, or at least just move it off the screen here, and just get that going away. How do I minimize this? There we go. Make a tiny little screen, push that over here. Great. And let's open up Chrome, make a new tab, and let's just test the audio. Push that over here. Cool, audio is working. All right, so the app that we're going to go to is called Art Breeder. It's where you can breed different genes together. So artbreeder.com, artbreeder.com. And it's a fantastic creative tool. I really like it, and I want to show you kind of how to use it and whatnot. So first off, I'm going to sign in. So don't mind me. I already have an account made. I actually pay for it because I love it so much to get more features. But here's the interface. So welcome to Art Breeder. In this amazing app, you have a lot of every image that you're seeing in here was generated procedurally with AI. So nothing in here is necessarily hand drawn or photographed or painted. Everything in here is generated with AI. And I'll just show you some stuff that I've already made before. If I go to my profile and go to the ones that I've liked and created, these are all the different iterations of landscapes that I made before I decided one to do my paint over. So I spent a lot of time coming up with what composition I wanted. These are the genes that you get to edit, like the amount of fog in the image and the amount of snow. And you can generate quite, varied, complicated landscapes. You can change the sunlight very quickly. I mean, even that looks remarkable. It almost looks like a volcano or something. There's a castle up there. So it's just a fantastic way to start your illustrations. And that's what we're going to be doing today. But this thing works on all sorts of different images. So if you go to the Create tab, you can get started. We have general, portraits, landscapes, paintings, sci-fi, bio, characters, albums, furries, and anime portraits, all possible to make in this tool. Tonight I want to do another landscape. So let's go to landscape, and I'm going to click on compose. And we're going to select some parents. So I'm going to go to their search, and we're going to search for the first parent that I would like to start creating some art with. The first parent is going to be feeling like the beach. Okay, it's a good place to start. Ooh, I like this one where there's like nice sand and little water area there. Ooh, this one's also pretty cool. This one's pretty nice. Let's see what we got there. Okay, got that little beach. I'm going to select on another one, find another beach image that I like. I like the lighting in here. We'll go to select another parent. You can have as many parents as you want. So beach is one concept. I also want to do a waterfall. Water. Oh wow, look, just typing in water. Looks like we get some cool underwater stuff. Looks pretty beautiful. I'm going to try that. Okay, so with these three parents, we're going to click on this button, which will breed the three images together and generate some wonderful places to start. Look at this piece. Now, if you like anything that you see in here, you just give it a click, and that saves it for later. Only the stuff that you put a heart will become your liked ones that you can more accessibly. Let me see if I can hide this toolbar here. I don't know how to hide this toolbar, so I'm just going to expand this in OBS Studio to just crop that out of the frame there. There we go. Okay. All right. So I like that one. We'll keep working with that. Let's go ahead and create some more variations. Just hitting the recycle button here is really helpful. Oh, this one's really cool. I like the nighttime shot. It's pretty beautiful. So keep refreshing it. Oh, this one's nice. It's like almost got dusk. Now, once you start getting a couple of images, well, you start generating thousands of images. I keep hitting the recycle button here. This is recycling the same parents. So once you start getting like a feel that looks good, you start playing with these sliders. So for instance, maybe I want more of the style, or actually more of the content of this first one. And if we refresh it, we're going to see a lot more of that content present in our images. Like you can see all of them kind of have a little island here. I love that one. And then we can go to the style, and maybe I want more of the style of this one, less of the style of that one. And then let's make the babies. There we go. Now we got this beautiful painting here coming from this style, but this content. So it's very intuitive, but it's pretty wild to see unfold before your eyes. And I start generating more images here. Oh, I love this warm like lighting coming in there. Let's keep refreshing it. Now there's also this chaos slider. Dragging the chaos slider to the left makes it, I think, more photorealistic. I think. Let me drag it all the way to the left and see what happens. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so this is like a non-chaotic representation of them, I guess. And then if we go to all the way chaos, it might look really bad. So you want to just play around with the sliders. These are the genes that we can edit in our image. But looking at the ones that we've already generated, I kind of like where this one was going. So I'm going to go into this image and go into the individual genes. So first off, I might want to maybe crossbreed this image with another image. So I'm going to go and look up some stars. Oh, beautiful. There's some beautiful stars at night that look fantastic. I like this one. And if we breed these two images together, now we get some starlight in there. So maybe let me keep a little bit more of the content there and grab a little bit more of that style and crank up that style a bit more, maybe crank up the content a bit more over here or bring the content back down. Wow, look at that. Okay, I love where that's going. So now we get this kind of water. I want to maybe crossbreed this with a more photorealistic example. So what I'll do now is go into the same crossbreed, reset this, and jump into this new child. There we have our new child image. And I want to crossbreed this with another more realistic water. So I'm going to search for water and try my best to find something that looks a bit more realistic. Oh, wow, look at those. Sorry, got distracted. Maybe I'll look up ocean. Whoa, this is really pretty too. There's a lot of really beautiful things in here. Do ocean. I want to start combining it back with some photorealistic water. This one has some really nice photorealistic water. I'm going to go with the content of this, and then, or maybe the style of that. Maybe more of the content for there. Oh, okay, so that's going to go the other extreme. Let's grab a little bit more of that water style. Okay, I'm not really seeing much there, so let me reset it. What we can do is go to the children and just create more children images based off of this. And this kind of shuffles around the genes randomly to give some new variations. You can see just hovering over them, you can see what they'll look like, and they're really beautiful. Oh wow, I like the architecture that came out of this one. Save that for later. That one kind of pushes the islands back a bit further. I like this one too for some reason. It's kind of speaking to me. Let's keep refreshing. And what's cool is you can change things about the children. For example, you can make the children more similar to the parent or more different by dragging the slider over here. So these ones are more similar, right? And we drag it over here, we're going to get children that are a lot more different from the parent. And you can keep recycling them as many times as you see fit. Like, wow, look at that. I'm going to save that. And it's pretty cool, but we're basically iterating through just thousands of different ideas very quickly. And in a sense, it's pretty cheap to go through this many iterations. We're not having to reinvent the wheel with all of our artistic ideas. We can kind of piggyback off of, wow, just some of nature and AI working together. All right, let's go to the edit genes. I liked where this one was going because this one had more realistic water for me. I kind of like where we get a little bit more shallow areas. There's nice rocks in here. We have a sunset. Pretty cool, pretty beautiful. So what I want to do with this is maybe dial it up a bit. So for instance, we can go to the sunlight, and this slider changes the time of day that we are capturing this moment. So just by changing the time of day, I get this really beautiful light water by having the sunlight at 0.7, go to 0.1. It's a little bit too far. We can go back the other direction if we want it to be more of a sunset. So, man, I hope you realize this is pretty phenomenal. I like the sunlight right about here. Let's go to the mountains. This will make things look more mountainous or less mountainous. I guess we'll keep a little bit of mountain. Okay, architecture makes things look like they're buildings. Whoa, it's a very sensitive slider. Just pushing it a hair there, hair this way. And then art, I think this makes it look more photorealistic or more artsy, which is pretty cool. I might dial it back down a little bit. Trees, we don't have any trees. We could use some trees. Let's see what trees look like here. Oh, goodness, too much. This is negative trees. Can make it more like a valley. Whoa. Wow, I see like a building forming here. That's pretty cool too. It's a little weird. I don't really want the building. Kind of want to keep it looking like mountains. Maybe focus more on the water. What is Mesa? Oh, I see. It just kind of it raises the height of a lot of it. Changes the sea level. Actually, they have a sea level one. It's this one. This one can make the sea level higher or lower. See, more rocks are coming in as we lower the sea level. Pretty remarkable that it knows that. It's just like it's generating all these images on the fly as we're working. I'm going to increase that sea level so that we get a lot more water here. Oh, that's maybe too much water at 0.6. I'm going to bring it back down. There we go. Vegetation's at 0. Let's see what happens if we do negative vegetation. Oh, I see. So it just gets more water. Oh, wow. Look at that. That totally changes it. Completely changed mood. It's pretty cool. It's not really an ocean anymore. It is pretty beautiful though. Wow. This river slider. So I guess what this means is rivers are dramatically different from uh, oceans. So just adding a little bit more river is dramatically changing the composition, which is just so cool to see. I'm doing negative river right now, whatever that means. Kind of looks like a tundra. Yeah, kind of has a tundra vibe. I'm going to go to the sea level, maybe raise it up a little bit or raise it down. it's just so beautiful. All the different iterations, thoughts that can be had here. Should be saving some of these children objects. These little rocky ones are kind of cool. These are forming. Maybe I want to lower the sea level. No, increase the sea level. So you get like a rocky front. And I'll save that. Let's make it less of a valley. Oh, wow. Look at the beautiful reflections in the water we're getting there. Let's save that one for sure. Let's go to the Mesa. Whoa, don't know what this structure is. It's cool though. Again, just playing with the sliders, you get, pretty dramatic differences very quickly too. I don't like messing with the tree slider, so I'll leave that alone. Let's go to fog. 5, 6, this just adds fog to the shot, or takes fog out of the shot. Oh, that's kind of cool. It gets a little bit more saturated that way. There's also the brightness slider that does that to some degree, kind of sharpens up everything. They also even have a sharpen, which also does the same thing. It sharpens up the existing stuff. There's also the saturation slider. There's a hue slider if you want to change the overall hues of things. Like this one's really pretty. All right, so next we're going to go back to the children and just create some more children based off of some of these later ones. So I'm going to go to the children and create more children based off of that. Now, what this tool is using is a thing called General Adversarial Networks, a GAN network. A GAN network tries its, wow, this is so beautiful. A GAN network puts two different AIs in a duel, two different artificially intelligent systems in a duel to make a better outcome, a better result. And when you put two AIs in a duel, they do really impressive things where they basically get really good at a specific task by competing. The competition actually helps strengthen the connections. So for example, there's AIs that are trained to try to make the most realistic water. And if you have two different AIs compete to do this task and keep on comparing their results, they end up getting really good at creating water. And so if you do this a million times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times in a computer simulation, you can get a robot that essentially knows how to do some really beautiful things artistically. And I'm just kind of, trying to get a very particular image into here. Now, if you don't see what you want, you can also import your own images and use that to help bias the algorithms to your liking. But I'm pretty happy right now of just exploring all the different spaces that we can go into here. Okay, so we have some pretty images that we're generating. I'm going to grab this one here. And with this image, we're going to crossbreed this beautiful image that we just made here in ArtBreeder. We're going to crossbreed this with another image. I'm going to go to select an image, and I'm going to choose a selected search. I want to combine this with some more water. Yes. Some more water. Oh, I like how this one has some like plants going on. There's some really cool waterfalls. Maybe we want to add some of that content with this style. Maybe more of this content. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's go the other direction. Whoa, we made like a totally green environment by taking 100% of the style, or even just a percentage of the style. Like that's kind of nice, because then we get this nice rock separation. I love that. So I'm going to save this one, jump into this object, go to children, create some more children. And it's almost like you're creating different scenes. Like it looks like it tried to render birds up there. How cool is that? Or this one started to add some more rocks. It's having children of the same scene can help tell a different story. Oh, look at the beautiful water there. It's so blue. Love that one. Really like that one. I might actually favorite that one just so I don't lose it in all the all of the different images that are being generated by this network. And it is actually generating these images. These images that you see appearing here are being drawn. They're not being found. These aren't already somewhere in a database. These are being made as we are working on them, which is pretty nuts. It's really nuts. Whoa, look at this one. There's almost like a waterfall forming back there. So let's work off of this one a little bit. Really like what's going on here. I see some children objects of this. I see some more trees coming in. We've got a nice grassy area. Nothing's striking out quite yet. Nothing's really popping off. Okay. So what we can do when we hit a spot like this, that one's kind of cool. I guess just add some more grass. So we can go to edit genes, and then we can play with other things. So maybe what happened if we did less vegetation? Wow, looks like, you know, exactly what it sounds like. And if we added more vegetation, what if we go to our red sky and add a little bit more warmth to the sky there? Ah, that's beautiful. Let's save that. Then we're going to go to the overall saturation of the image. Actually, I might just brighten it up a tiny bit. That's pretty. Go to the saturation, push these colors into a more saturated flow. That looks really pretty. I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to go to the hue slider and just change the hues. Oh my goodness, look at the colors. Wow. I'm going to go to sharpen. Wow. Wow. See, this is so cool. I'm going to save that one. Let's keep playing with the hue slider because that seems to be kind of fun. Maybe I went too far the other direction from the hue. Kind of like these warmer colors. If we go to our sunlight, we can change where the sun is. So that's almost like a sunset. Interesting. And then this is more of like midday. It's kind of pretty. I kind of like it in between there. Vegetation's at 0.2. If we just lower the vegetation a little bit and save that image, and then I'm going to go to brightness and just brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look at that. We just made this. Well, with the help of AI. A lot of help. Okay, great. Let's see if we can add some more genes. So these are genes that are generated by other people. We can also search for different genes. I want to see if there's a water gene. Oh, look at that. So waterfall test. If I hit favorite on it, I think it adds it to it. Okay, so if we just increase the waterfall test, whoa, look at that. We just get more water, which is what I want. I want to have more water. If I reset that, what happens if you go the other direction? Oh, wow, totally changed. I don't want to change it that much. So I just want to maybe increase the amount of water in the shot there, but not change the composition that much. Okay, let's add some more genes. That's another water one. Uh-huh. I don't know if I like the way those results are looking. Okay, let's try to see if there's a wet, or actually, let me see which ones have been trending. Oh, wow. There's magic. Let's see what happened if we had a little bit more magic to the shot. Oh, wow, it looks more like an enchanted forest. I guess the magic, whoa, guys, too much magic. Let's dial the magic back a little bit. I kind of want to see more lights in here, like fireflies, almost as if it's dusk. I mean, we can paint those in, but if we have the chance to, work with the AI to add that, we might as well. So I'm going to go to select image, search. I'm going to look up flies. Okay. All right, we're crossing these two together. All right, we've got a little bit more specks of color there. Maybe I want to keep the style of this, but add a little bit more of the content of that. Or keep it more on that side. What would happen if we go the other way? Whoa, that's pretty too. Okay, I'll just save that result. All right, let's go to the children. Find some different children of that shot. These all look really pretty and mystical and stuff. Oh, it is pretty late, but we're just having some fun doing some illustrations, working with AI, coming up with some pretty compositions with help, some heavy help with AI here. Okay, I'm going to go back to my profile and see the ones that I liked. So I liked that one. If I just go to the liked and create, or just the created tab, let's just kind of see which ones were speaking to me more. So this one was speaking to me, and so was this last one over there. So what I'm going to do is go to the Create tab and go to Landscapes, go to Compose, and we'll select two of those created and starred ones. So that one and that one. And now I'm going to cross those two images together to see what we get. Pretty neat. So we get a mixture of both of those worlds. Again, we can keep hitting that recycle button to see different variations. Oh, I like that one. That's pretty cool. It's really colorful. Ooh, love the reflections in there. Let's save that one. So just generating new images here, just hitting that recycle button. If you're not seeing enough of a change, you can always go to add more content of one and more style of the other, and then create a new set of generation there. You can also add more sun to the mix. This is like gene editing. We set these. We can add a random parent. So I just added a random parent to the mix. Oh, I love this one. Kind of some Bob Ross vibes. Ooh, so is that one with the reflections in the water. I like that one. I want to jump into this one and play with the brightness a bit. Maybe make it a little bit darker. And then go to our amount of sunlight and just change the direction. Whoa, that's pretty. Wow, it's a really pretty sunset. This is changing the sun direction. It also seems to be adding more of a mountainous kind of aesthetic there. Wow, just playing again with the lighting. Let's go to vegetation, increase it a little bit. Go to the sea level. Oh, that's interesting. So we can get more of a lake or more of a river just by adjusting the sea level here. Whoa, I don't know what that is. It's cool how the trees grow. Wow, look at that. We get these really pretty mountains and we get a really nice reflection. I'm going to save that one just because I like the reflection that we're getting there. So I'm going to crank it down and then go to the mountains, increase the strength of the mountains, and maybe increase the strength of the tree. Whoa, getting very abstract there. Maybe don't play with that. Maybe I'll go a little bit more to the valley here. Adjust the valley strength and more of the mesa strength. And play with the hues. Yeah, like See how we like how you make these images? It's bizarre, to be honest. But we can make these images by adding and subtracting different genes right inside of the tool. Again, this tool is known as Art Breeder. That's what it's doing. We are breeding together different art styles, add more or less chaos into the mix. Whoa, look at this snowy mountain thing going on. Looks like the lake froze over. Let me cross this with a lake. Maybe we can get like an ice lake going for us. So I'm going to go to crossbreed and select an image. We're going to go to search. I'm going to look for a lake. Got some nice green lakes in here. Oh, this one looks really beautiful. Let's combine those two. And yes, that blends them. Let's do a little bit more of this content because we spent more time making that one. But pull a little bit more of that style in there so we get those nice rich trees against the foreground, or I guess midground. There we go. So now we're getting all of our mountains that we made. Pretty lake, water, definitely saving that. Wow, that already looks like it's done. Look at this image. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, keep it up. I'm gonna go to the river. Interesting. By changing the river slider, it, it made it more vegetation. That was interesting. Oh, there we go. I like having a bit of vegetation in here just so it's like you get a mixture of colors. Let me play the tree amount. Whoa. Take the tree amount down a hair. Increase it very, very subtly here if I can. That's pretty too. Let's save that one. Saturation, maybe desaturate it a bit. Kind of opens up the colors. Maybe add a little bit less snow. It's like thawing off. Maybe add a bit more sunlight or less sunlight. And it looks like bringing less sunlight also affects how much snow is in the scene. That's pretty cool. It's interesting what kind of patterns and trends that the AI picks up on um, simply from, I guess, observing patterns. It picks up on patterns, it observes patterns, and it just picks up on things that uh, they're similar across time and space here. Wow, I love these images. I really do. Let me go back to the uploaded, created. All right, so I really liked when we brought this ice lake in, and I liked the saturation in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite that one, and I'm gonna cross this one uh, with nighttime or an aura or night. Oh, look at that. This one has a nice aura. So I want to see if we can keep our content, but get a little bit of that aura up in the sky there. It's kind of cool. I don't think it's totally getting it though. So maybe we set it, grab a different aura. Maybe that one's a little bit louder. That's not doing it either. Let's go ahead and cross it with maybe this one or, oh, this is cool. There's like a rainbow aura. Oh, wow. You get like all these colors in here now. Look at that bizarreness. It's like a foggy rainbow lake. I'm going to reset that. It doesn't hurt just to cross it with different things, entirely sometimes. Whoa. My main goal here is to show you how artists can utilize AI in their creative process and create all sorts of interesting concept art from it. Whoa, that's lovely. Yeah, that's really lovely. All right, so I just got really focused there. I'm going to adjust the mountain amount here, make these a little bit more mountainy. Oh wow, it's all of a sudden just turns into snow because it's so cold. It's the blue lighting. That must mean that most of the time it sees mountains in blue, it must think snow is probably there, or at least that's what it's. So what happens if I subtract snow from here? Whoa, now we look like we're on a Martian rock and we get some floating rocks. I love that. I want more floating rocks. I want a lot more floating rocks. So let's see what happens. Let's do negative vegetation. Okay, so I bring snow back. Positive vegetation, what happens? It gets warmer. That's kind of interesting. It looks like it turns into grass, but the color is still, whoa. But reset the vegetation and the hue, make it really red in here. So we're like on a Martian planet. If we go to a valley, increase the valley amount. Okay, so that makes it more like a valley, less like a valley here. Whoa, don't know where that came from. Okay, I lost it. Let me go back to this one. So I love, really, really love the way this one came out. Now I want to maybe add a bit more clouds to it. So what we can do is add a gene and see if they have one for clouds. They do. They have some genes for clouds. Uh, I don't really like any of those though. So maybe let's just breed different children that are similar to this. Whoa. Gosh, all these are so pretty. And keep refreshing. Like I want to build these worlds in Unreal Engine. I want to go and visit these places. Oh, hello from Nepal. Welcome, Karma. It's a pleasure to have you. My name is Don Allen Stevenson III. I'm a digital creator, and today we're using an AI tool known as Art Breeder to generate some of our concept art. And how we can use this later is quite exciting. We can do drawovers on top of it. So I'll show you here is what we had before. This is the result. I'll just pull this up if I can. Where are you? USB, share screen, mirror. Huh? Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to mirror my screen here. There we go, screen mirroring turned on. And here we are, I'm just gonna bring this device over here. Okay, so this is what I did earlier today, or I guess in the last couple days, is I brought in my concept art. So I made this concept art using the same techniques that we're doing right now. And as soon as it was done, I then brought it over into an app called Procreate, and then did a paint over on it. Oh yeah, no problem, Karma. I'm not familiar with names on YouTube. Sometimes look a little different, or the icons. I mostly look at people's icons to recognize them. But yeah, so I got some feedback that people want to see stuff more in full screen, and I thought, I could start making some more live content here on YouTube. So this is the app Procreate, and you can see that I did drawovers like adding bridges and stuff, and start playing with different colors on top of the illustration and on top of generated landscape. And this is a really nice way of, getting an idea out a lot further along, a lot earlier on in the process, so that when you're painting, you're focusing on, stuff that you enjoy, that matters for your story, and less time on just the technical know-how of like, how do you get things to look a certain way? How do I get a certain result? As we speed through the time lapse here, we see we eventually added like flowers. I added all these flowers right around here. And then I started adding different water sources and added a little more rocks, a few more rocks in there to kind of, embed it into the piece. And then as we move forward, I got some reference from Hogwarts. So I brought in a picture of Hogwarts and was like, hey, let me see if I can try to, create some of these shapes, and then just decided to kind of paint those in there, sharpen them up a bit. Then we went and added some highlights to all the edges to kind of ground everything in the same lighting. Then we added these little flags to all of the tops. Adding flags kind of is a way to create like a sense of culture, a sense that there's like a civilization in there. And eventually we added lights and we did a final color correction, and then we got this end result. Then we took this end result and we brought it into AR. And so this is what it looks like in augmented reality up on my wall here. Turns out that's not real. That's all augmented reality. We brought this to life with AR. And so I'm just kind of showing, there's a lot of questions I got in the DMs on Instagram about how does this work. And so I'm just making a live stream showing all the process in full screen, so it's a lot more accessible. And yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me just go ahead and move this off of big screen mode, push that off to the side, and continue on. So far tonight, we've been generating lots of images already. And we got to this image that you see here. I'll show you all of its parents. So if I click on the gene, here's how we made it. So it was the birth of all these different images combining over time. And eventually we got to this. And so now I'm working on this, and I really liked how it randomly had like a floating rock up the top here. Thought this thing looked super freaking cool. So I want to see if I can maybe add more floating rocks into it or somehow. So I'm just, yeah, I'm literally just giving it different children here. And look at that, we got another floating rock. This one has a little bit more of a foggy environment. It's pretty different. I want to keep the sharp look though. Oh wow, this one adds more water, and it looks like it tries to create birds up there. It's interesting. Okay, more fog, a little bit more cloud overcast. So we're just generating more parents and more children of the same scene. And just by hovering our mouse over the areas, we can A/B it and see what's going on. See what our shot would look like with these new, parameters. Now, if you start to get to a spot where, wow, look at that, it's like a snowy day of the same thing. That's so freaking cool. I'm gonna save that one just for fun. I really like this one though, so I'm gonna save that one. We're gonna go to Edit Genes and play with some of the genes here. So what if we play with the sunlight? This is the direction of the sunlight in our scene. Wow, we get some deep, deep reds in there. We do end up losing a lot of the detail though in the water. So maybe I won't move the sunlight. See what happens if we play with the hue. Playing with the hue. Okay, look, looks more like a snowy, icy kind of place. And then moving the hue this direction makes it look more like Mars. It's a bit too saturated, so let me desaturate the image a bit. Maybe lower the hue change. Now we're kind of on like a Martian planet at night. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's see what happens if we add more or less blue to the image. Okay, that's interesting, interesting. Playing with that saturation slider again. Oh, that's pretty. I like that one. I'm gonna save that as well. So that's just removing the blue from the image. Oh wow, so this is no blue. And then if you have no blue and no red, what do you get? Oh wow, so it's almost a black and white image. See, if you have no blue, no red, and all green, got it. So it's very literal. It's very much like a color correction that you can do in here. So if I add yellow and green, we can get, or if I can add green and red, we get yellow, which is like sulfur. Now it looks like we're on a sulfuric planet. I think looks pretty cool. I'm going to save that one. Maybe boost the saturation of that one a bit. That's pretty cool. Let me go to the brightness, change the time of day, or make it later in the night. I like how we're getting more floating rocks. Big fan of that. So hope to kind of preserve the floating rock appearance. Might go to the sharpness to make the rocks a little bit more glossy, and then go to our sunlight direction. And for save that image, I'll go to our sunlight direction and play with that a little bit. Looks like just changing the sunlight direction, we get the appearance of more floating rocks to some degree, or less. As the night falls, looks like the rocks came tumbling down. I'm going to reset that, maybe push it back a little bit. Cool. Let's go to our fog amount and decrease the fog. Oh no, maybe I'll increase the fog. Or ooh, neither. Let's go to our sea level. Wow. So many different worlds are being built with every single iteration here. All right, let's go to our valley. So pretty. And reset that value there. And then go ahead and increase the value a little bit. Is that too much? I think we're losing a little bit of the values that I liked in the water there. Let's go to the Mesa. I don't know what that is. That's cool. It kind of focuses the camera. It looks like it almost created a natural vignette around the image and really draws the eye in the center. This might be a really good thing to do to maybe have like a little floating building here. I'm going to save that one in case we want to go that direction. Let me pull back the Mesa. And now the eye kind of competes between these two areas. If we go back even further, whoa, totally changes our composition. If we push the Mesa too far in that direction. That's kind of cool. I like whatever this is. So I'm gonna keep playing with this one for a bit. Let's play with the colors and just see color. Whoa, whoa, that's sweet. Wow, even just removing the red. Oh wow, it looks so scary now. Okay, maybe let's just drop the red a little bit so we're kind of in a warmish place, and then play with that hue slider. Okay, it's a little strong there. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go to our blue. Let's maybe decrease the blue a bit, maybe push up the hue a tiny bit, maybe bring it back down. Go to our river slider and, I don't know, crank up the river by 0.05%, whatever that does. Oh, I see. So it just kind of, whoa, okay, that's, rooms are shot actually. That's beautiful too. I like the night sky that we're getting there. And it almost looks like there's a shooting star that's appearing. It's pretty sweet. Okay, I love this image a lot. So I'm going to go with this. And with this image, cross it with a few more. It's endless. Let me go to trending, see if there's any nighttime skies that people have successfully made. Oh, wow. Look at the reflections in there. So pretty. I'm going to go to my content and then grab some of the color styles there. This just gets it to look a little bit more like water, which I would like. So this kind of just raises the value of the water a bit. So I'll save that child. And then in this image, go to the sea level and adjust the sea level, increase it. And this kind of just gives us a wider river. Or we could decrease the sea level, and this looks really cool too. Wow. I'm just doing minor adjustments here. Yeah, that looks pretty. I'm going to save it. We did lose a little bit of our floating thing, so I'm going to see if I can maybe combine it with an earlier version. So I'm going to go to the crossbreed and find my floating building. There we go. So let's grab more of the content of that one and pull it in this style. That's pretty sweet. Cool. So this is kind of like a happy blend between the two. We get this nice water, we get our floating rock islands, we have some nice focal point over there. Now it's just that image entirely. This one just kind of pulls back and makes the rocks a little bit sharper. Cool. I love that image too. We'll go to it, go with the children, create more of children objects from it, more of the children of this scene. There's some pretty cool children. Wow. Okay. You know, we also do need to know when it is the right time to stop. Because I can keep going on this, but we might, lose sight of everything. So I'm just going to increase the sharpness a little bit of this image just to refine things a lot. Maybe not that much. Bring it down a little bit. And then see if there's any different hues that look good in there, or any saturation amounts, any saturation adjustments that look cool with a different hue. Just testing out the waters here. Do we want to reduce the blue in the image a little bit or increase the blue, maybe increase the green? Oh, that's kind of cool. We get a little bit more of a rocky vibe there, which I like. We have our red slider. This makes if we take away red, we get this blue kind of colder nighttime sky. If we turn this red up a little bit, it gets a little bit warmer. It's kind of hard to read. So I might go a little bit lower with that. And then maybe, what the heck, let's just change the sunlight direction. Maybe not. Whoa. Okay, we'll leave the sun alone. Vegetation, do we want that? No. I don't want snow either. Then we have our sea level. Okay. Looks like we have some UFOs in this last one. It's kind of cool. I'm going to go to the brightness slider and adjust our brightness, our image. All right, that's the one, I said. Okay, cool. So now that we have an image, we're going to hit the download button. And this will take a few minutes to download a really high-res version of it. So I'll do that. In the meantime, I want to start thinking about what to paint on here. So just going to wait for the download. Should be here in a couple seconds, though. Just go to that button, image downloads. Cool. All right, so I think this saves it into a Google Drive folder. And I think I can access that right here on the iPad. So then we can just jump into that part of the process. Give me one moment while we get that prepared. Go to Google Drive and jump into Art Breeder. What's today's date? Oh, 12. There we go. All right, so here we are. We downloaded the high res version. I'm gonna go full screen here somehow. Where's the full screen? There we go. All right, so we're working on the iPad now. Let's go. Next phase. Great. I'm gonna download this. Send a copy. Save image. All right, so we got this image here. This is our thing. Wait a second. Where's the display? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we have our image here. Sweet. And now we want to start doing a paint over on this. So what I do is I jump into the app Procreate and just go to the plus button. No, just do the photo button and just grab that image. And now we're in the app Procreate where we can do all sorts of cool stuff. I think the camera might be at a weird angle though, so I'm going to be looking down. So let me just move the camera here. Is that better? While I'm talking on stuff. All right. So I think the device is going to move around a little bit. I'm going to bring to a little tablet a little bit closer here. It's easier for me to draw. Okay, so now that we have like our thing in here, I'm going to make a duplicate of it and create a layer on top in red ink. And this is where I'm going to draw some concepts, some ideas of what I want to add to this piece here. So I definitely want to do more floating rock kind of things, more floating structures. So that will be one thing, and they'll get smaller and stuff in the back, kind of like this one. So little floating rocks will be a part of this image. Another element I might want to work with is potentially some kind of boat. I don't know, in the water, or maybe a raft of some sort. And maybe there's a raft in here, and I don't know, just thinking out loud here. You can have a raft. We could make a more clear water lines. Just trying to think of some ideas here. Yeah, so yeah, that's just the part where we're at now. Maybe I want to add a subject in the water. We can have maybe some kind of person here holding something. We can have maybe some buildings. This could be turned into a building very easily, or it could turn into like one of those buildings from a Halo or something. Get some floating stuff, and then yeah, that's some ideas. So I'm gonna pull up some more images here. Halo buildings.
Check out these pictures.
Cool, cool, cool. Environments. Okay, so enough of that reference. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to jump into this image here, and let's work on the first bit here. So I'm going to go up to the top. Create some of these little reed, uh, little floating island things. We're just kind of staying in the shadow color for now, but we'll, of course, add a lot of other colors and stuff to them as it is appropriate. You can grab and fill colors in like that very easily. We're using the app Procreate for this part, which is fun. It's a very powerful illustration app on the iPad and on iPhones. Okay. Great first concept there. Let's see if we were to turn this into a building. We'll use the arc tool, edit shape, create a nice little arc. Actually, that was a bad arc. I'm going to try that again. The shape, adjust the arc on this thing. I am just drawing right on the image for now. That might come to be a problem in the future, but for now, I just like to make some big decisions. And what I like to do is pull colors right from the image itself, just to create a nice little blend between some of the textures and things in it. Also press and hold on the mix brush, and this will allow us to smudge colors with our smudgy brush. Another way of pulling colors across layers. And then you can change the type of brush that you're mixing it with. If we use a twig brush, for example, it gets a little bit more of these strips of material into it, which has its own kind of pretty cool effect there. Okay. I'm just going to pull a little bit of the sky color in there and apply it to some areas, and then smush the difference. It helps to kind of blend it into the shot a bit better, adding some blue light. Let's also pull in a little bit of the shadow color and just kind of streak it in there just to create a little bit of depth, and then smudge those shadows into the composition there. Okay. Right now, going through creating a little bit of the highlights that would be appearing on some of these rock faces. And we'll go and grab some of these midtones. Grab this nice magenta color for another shadow. It's awesome. And we'll grab our same little brush here. I might jump into the clay brush and use this to smudge around some of these colors a bit more gradually to kind of create that textured kind of look between some of those forms. All right. Then what I like to do is jump in and grab the clone brush and take little aspects of the rocks and just clone them right onto them. This kind of allows you to recycle a bit of the colors and texture on certain highlight areas that would be key for explaining the shape that you're going for. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my smudge brush, go to maybe a wet clay brush, and use this to kind of smudge around the clouds. All right, I think I need to go to bed. So that's kind of the process, and yeah, that's how you can do these things. Start off with some AI and then do some paint overs, come up with some ideas on the fly, and it can be really fun. But I need to go get some sleep so I can do this tomorrow. Thanks to all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.